Welcome to my sewing room. It's time to tackle something I've been avoiding. It's a t-shirt. Coworker came up and said, I have this t-shirt. It's too long. Can you shorten it? And it says, my hero is my angel, Alzheimer's awareness. This is for her husband that passed away. I hate t-shirt fabric. I hate sewing t-shirt fabric. It's absolutely evil. I couldn't say no. So then I was like, but I'm really busy. I'll get to it over break. She's like, oh, that's fine. Guess what? It's Christmas break. And what do I get to do? Get to hem t-shirt fabric. All right. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. Let's get to it. Okay, done. It didn't take very long. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It's not great, but it's okay. So here's what I did. So the first thing I did is I marked where I wanted to cut it off. Just used a ruler and one of those marking pens that disappears. And then I cut it off, but not on that line, like between there and the bottom, so I could have a chunk to play with. Took that chunk over to my serger, made sure the serger was working fine and it fed through the serger okay. I took that chunk, this is the scrap, over to my sewing machine and did the same thing. Made sure I had the right color thread in it, made sure I had a needle for knit fabric in it, tried it out on the scrap. In hindsight, I wish I would have done more because I only did a little bit. I'm like, that looks good. I probably should have done a longer chunk and analyzed it more carefully, but it looked pretty good on the scrap. So I was like, okay, I think we're all right. Took my t-shirt over to my serger and serged the edge. Now, I don't have to cut it off first. My serger has a cutting edge and it will cut it while it binds it. So that's all in one step. So ran it through the serger, got that edge bound and cut, and I took it over to my sewing machine. Whoops. Iron first. Fold that edge over as much as I wanted it to go and pressed it, put a few pins in it so it's stabilized, and then took it over to my sewing machine. And I did 2 rows of stitching because if you look at any t-shirt edge, it's usually a double row of stitching. I did one right along the top of the raw edge and then one just a little bit farther down. So I got my 2 rows of stitching, and it's a little puckered, a little wavy. When I look at it really closely, it looks like the thread tension might have been off. Sometimes you have to adjust thread tension for different fabrics. That or the needle I had for knit fabric was the wrong size or was old. I don't know. It's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, that's pretty good. And I could fiddle with that for another hour, trying to adjust the stitch settings, tightness, thread tension, and just make it worse. So it's kind of a toss-up. Do I keep playing? Do I fiddle with it and potentially make it way worse? Or do I just leave it at not too bad? So I left it at not too bad, and it's done. Looks better after a little pressing. Not that she's going to press her t-shirt, but then again, it is just a t-shirt. So here we go. I think it's pretty good for a t-shirt, and we'll take it to work after break. And next time I see her, be like, ta-da, I got your shirt done. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay creative and keep sewing.